Perhaps we should start saving up to be able to get a residence in the new Saudi project, the Neom Line, in the northern Saudi Arabian dunes and mountains. Its enormous linear building site is already terraforming the local environment and climate. It's planned to be an entirely self-contained megacity, and it looks like something straight out of a utopian movie. So, keep watching to find out everything about the massive superstructure. Firstly, Saudi Arabia's Sci-Fi Megacity, the Line. Even though work on the line only started last fall, Saudi Arabia claims it will be finished by 2030. The Line, a weird new megacity in Saudi Arabia, is moving forward at full speed. New satellite photos have shown how much territory the project has covered, the length of the city, and the structure of its building site, even though development only started in October. A photo of the primary base camp was obtained on October 22, 2022, by a satellite from Changguang Satellite Technology Corporation, according to MIT's Technology Review, which looked at satellite images of the building site for the line from an Australian business named Soar on the western part of the Saudi Arabian Peninsula at 28.10 degrees latitude and 35.30 degrees longitude is where the primary base camp is situated. But Soar user Urban submitted multiple pictures showing construction taking place all the way down the line. Next up, what we saw in the aerial images. According to Soar's scale bar, the footprint of the line, which is around 200 feet wide, can be seen being dug into the desert sand in the color-coded rendition of the base camp, with about 1.7 million cubic meters of rock and sand being excavated at this site alone. Red dots show that at least 425 excavation vehicles are at work defining the future city's footprint. Different areas of the construction site are also characterized by Urban's image, such as the primary construction camp in pink that houses construction workers and many green solar panels. The city's western site, which is situated at roughly 28.15 degrees latitude and 34.68 degrees longitude, is depicted in another picture showing construction. 21st Century Aerospace Technology Company of Singapore satellite was used to capture the image on September 10, 2022, which depicts 103 earth excavation trucks and about 0.7 million cubic meters of earth removed from this particular section of the line. Urban posted a status update as well, with an image from November 18th that contrasts the area that's been dug up so far with the area that was originally planned. The line began construction in October of last year, but Urban's photos make it very clear that work had already begun for at least a month. The megalopolis will have a mirrored facade and will be 105 miles long, 218 yards abroad, and 546 yards tall. And on top of that, it will be entirely self-contained. Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown prince, suggested in a press release for Neom that the construction would be finished around 2030. Moving on, gaps in the aerial images raised important questions. Fleets of bulldozers, trucks, and diggers were seen excavating the line's foundations in official drone footage of the construction site that was released in October on Soar Earth. It's possible to view aerial images of the project, although Google Earth doesn't display the same region. The line is a problematic initiative that will test numerous innovative concepts for the first time and is still subject to harsh criticism. The Huatat people who reside in this region have a history of being uprooted during development. In an urgent appeal to the United Nations a few months ago, the Huatat tribe demanded an investigation into claims of mistreatment and forced relocation by Saudi authorities. In addition to Sentinel-2 and Landsat from the EU and the US, Google also uses satellite data from companies like Maxar and Planet. Some construction activity was clear in low-resolution pictures from Landsat and Sentinel-2 data, according to Amir Farhand, CEO and founder of Soar Earth. When they started zooming in, they realized that there were huge gaps in Maxar's coverage. High-definition imagery was actually non-existent for the public. Something strange is definitely going on if there are no Maxar photos obtained over an area that is seeing such rapid economic activity. The most straightforward answer could be that some financial investors gained those photos at the highest level, and now they retain an exclusive right to them. According to some academics, the humanitarian situation and the need to hide contentious project regions from NGO activism may be to blame for the inaccessibility of the area's sites. Coming up, what actually is the Line megacity? Many Middle Eastern countries are working to transition away from carbon-based economies and toward alternatives that draw visitors from across the world for tourism, commerce, employment, or residence. This is crucial given how quickly climate change is progressing. One such instance is the Neom development, which is being constructed in Saudi Arabia. The $725 billion futuristic city, the Line, which would accommodate 9 million people, is a crucial component of the plan. It consists of a 500-meter-tall, 200-meter-wide mirror-like wall-like structure. The project would run 170 kilometers inland inland from the Red Sea, across the coastal desert, mountain, and upper valley landscapes. It will be constructed in Saudi Arabia's northwestern Tabuk area. The line asserts to have created a new standard for sustainable growth. A small portion of NEOM's 26,500 square kilometer property, its footprint is less than 4 square meters per person. As a result, the landscape may be treated with more care than one might often expect for a megacity. The NEOM proposal also includes a port for shipping, an airport, business districts, research facilities, arenas for sports and entertainment, and tourist attractions. Although the line is marketed as a post-carbon eco-city, there are significant doubts about whether the project can achieve its environmental, economic, and social objectives in just a few years, given the scope of its ambitions. More on the flaws in its design. The project seems impressive environmentally at first glance. The distance from any place in the city to the urban edge is only 100 meters. No portion of the line is more than 20 minutes away, thanks to a high-speed electric public transportation service. You might think that living in such a massive building means a cramped lifestyle. However, each person would theoretically benefit from an average urban volume of 1,000 cubic meters. That's a lot more hospitable than most living conditions in congested cities. Unfortunately, a complex vertical transportation system would be required. As in many high-density high-rise structures, the building has the same height as a typical 125-story skyscraper, at $55,000 per inhabitant. The project's costs also appear reasonable. Let's assume that this is just relevant to infrastructure and is feasible in a nation with employment costs that are significantly lower than those in industrialized nations. Even said, it's still unclear how the largest building ever built can contain modern infrastructure, ultra-high-speed rail, and other services. The line is not the first masterpiece to think of a linear structure. In 1882, the Spanish urbanist Arturo Soria y Mara created the idea of the linear city, utilizing infrastructure such as water, electricity, gas, and transportation along a constricted linear metropolitan corridor allows for significant energy savings. One of the main tenets of the design was to urbanize the countryside and ruralize the metropolis. This idea is what the line is all about. One does question its effects on the landscape though. How can a continuous 500-meter high mirror barrier that spans 170 kilometers of the landscape and reflects desert heat and light just not affect the local biodiversity? Following, what is the environmental and community impact? The direction of the line seems to be east-west. While this would be ideal for sun thermal management, it will probably create a lot of shadows in the middle of winter. Living with no emissions is the goal of the line. Renewable energy is used. Green hydrogen generates export revenue. Wastewater is recycled. And the newest smart city innovations and mixed-use structures are all present. Driving a car is avoided in favor of traveling by foot, bicycle, and public transportation. However, the building and materials for such a massive undertaking might produce a lot of emissions. No one would, according to the idea, be more than 2 minutes from nature. But is the time spent waiting for a lift taken into account? Without proper planning, heavy dependence on vertical transit could sink plans for areas that are actually bikeable or walkable. Although it's possible that the line may be constructed in modules, it's unclear whether they would correspond to neighborhoods. And will people, companies, and other organizations be able to express their designs however they see fit? Or will the entire city have a uniform appearance? Ordinary cities have independent constructed form expression as a fundamental component. However, with the line's inflexible framework, this may not be viable. It's uncertain whether people would accept this. Up next, Saudi Arabia building their vision. The line was designed to change urban living and was expected to be finished by 2025. It remains to be seen whether such a complicated megacity can be finished so quickly, since development has yet to start in earnest. The project proposal also contains very little discussion on crucial elements like community organization, family diversity, expected demographics, governance, individual rights, and tolerance for a range of religious and spiritual beliefs. The line believes that the human experience will be at the center of its policies, that progressive legislation would be in place, and that access to healthcare will promote individual empowerment. But because new immigrants bring their own ideals, preserving this vision can be challenging. And finally, expert marketing by Saudi Arabia. The line seems to represent a significant effort at nation building. In comparison to Saudi Arabia's existing population of 35 million, its anticipated population of 9 million implies a 25% growth. The line's marketing strategy focuses on innovation, a strategic position, luxury and professional lifestyles, technology, and environmental sustainability. This indicates that the project's planners and designers hope to create an innovative and outstanding urban development that can quickly usher Saudi Arabia toward a post-carbon future. To do that, every ingredient is present, but from a planning and building standpoint, point, it will demand a tremendous amount of willpower, financial backing, and capability, and it's still unclear if the line will be able to successfully entice the residents it needs. And with that, that's a wrap for this video. What did you think of Saudi Arabia's new project? And would you like to live in the line? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.